everyone, my name's Donna.
And my name is Paul, and we're going to take you on the STEM tour around campus. Let's go! Right now we're sitting in a typical classroom within the North Classroom building on our campus. A lot of CU Denver classes are held within here. You'll have a lot of English-based classes, science-based lectures, math classes, all kinds of classes are held within this building. The geography department's on the upper floors, which we'll show you later. But in this classroom specifically, it is a pretty typical high school kind of sized classroom. It's not as big as a giant lecture hall, but it's not as small as some of the other classrooms within this building. You can see here it's kind of tiered up where it's kind of like stadium style seating almost. But even if you're in the very back of this classroom, you'll be able to hear and see the professor easily because of the way it's situated and designed. Your voice really does project within this classroom where you'll be able to hear the professor as well. This classroom is really cool because it is painted different colors. There's an orange hue to this one. Other classrooms have different colors as well. Also, to mention at CU Denver is that our class sizes are typically 17:1 ratio of students to staff members. So for every 17 students, there is typically one TA or one professor per student. So that's pretty nice. It makes you feel less of a number and more of a person. I personally had a class in this building where we only had 13 students, and I was included in that, so 12 other students. So yeah, that's pretty cool about CU Denver. Right now we're sitting inside our computer lab on campus in the North Classroom building. As you can see here, you have different computers that have not in use and some have no signs at all. That means you can use the ones with no signs, especially during COVID. Inside our computer lab, you are able to print within it at one of three printers within the computer lab. Those printing charges are actually within your student fees, so you don't actually get charged. You've already paid for it at the beginning of the year with your tuition and fees. Also within this computer lab is a nice charging station that you can go and rent out and use. It's very secure too. They lock up and no one can take your phone. But yeah, this computer lab is really nice because you can go and print, and at each computer, every time you print, you can go and match it up with the different printers with their names. There's a gold one, there's a silver one, and there's a black one as well. And you can just match it up with the computer. Also on the Mac computers, they have special software on them for those kind of like engineering and design type of majors as well that they can use. And it's very easily accessible. And all you have to do is sign in with your university credentials and you're into the computers. Right now we're sitting within one of our large lecture halls at CU Denver's North Classroom building. This is one of two of the large lecture halls within this building. You'll have your freshman-based, like general education kind of lectures within this lecture hall. I had a physics lab, or I guess it was a lab and lecture within this hall as well. And I also had an EMVS course inside of here as well. It's stadium styled seating. It's tiered seating where it goes up and up and up. It's kind of steep too, so that you're able to view the whiteboard and the projector very easily. Your voice also projects really well within this classroom because they have special sound kind of barriers within here. The professor can turn on his mic as well at the front, where he or she is able to project their voice through the speakers within the classroom so that students in the back can hear. But even so, a lot of professors don't even turn on their mic, and students are still able to hear them because their voice projects so well. A lot of your science lecture classes will be within here. You'll see a periodic table within the classroom as well. The projector pulls down and projects really big, and the giant whiteboard in the back is very nice as well. You'll have just a few of these big lecture hall based classes. I had a smaller class within this building So this building does contain the bigger lecture halls, but also the smaller halls as well. Right now we're sitting within our recently renovated areas within the North Classroom building. They added these very nice study spaces within the North Classroom building where you can go and sit down, relax, plug in your electronics, and do your homework in peace. Usually it is pretty quiet within this building because students are in their classes, but during transition periods, sometimes it gets a little loud, but usually you'll have your AirPods or your earphones in and you'll be able to listen to your music. Also in this space is our nice restaurant. It's called Simply Fresh Market. That restaurant's really nice because they can accommodate to your allergy needs. So if you have a peanut allergy, you can go and tell them and they'll go and accommodate to you and help you out with that. It's also very nice organic food as well. So if you want that fresh food downtown and don't want to go into the actual city itself and want to just stay on campus, then you can just head into this building and get that. Also, we have our corner store within this area as well. It's basically a convenience store run by our school. You're able to use cash or credit or debit as well. And you can go and buy drinks, snacks, anything you need to go and keep you going during your classroom time. I would grab iced tea from there before my astronomy classes because I needed that extra energy to go and keep me awake. But it's a really cool feature at our school and it really helps us out. So yeah. Right now we're in our third floor where it is home to our geography department, as well as our engineering and pre-health departments as well. Right now we're looking at one of our geography labs within this floor. It is our Chem Lab, so our Geospatial Analysis and Map Laboratory. It's a really nice collaborative space where you go and plug in and do a class. You follow along on computers, just a very collaborative space. Also, we have our GES lab as well, our Geospatial and Community Engagement Lab, basically. It's a really, really cool geographical science based lab where it's very collaborative as well. Kind of like our Chem Lab, but not really. There you'll go and plug in as well and do the different classes and different things within it. I had a class on this floor for my geography major. It was my weather and climate class, which was just down the hall. The classroom size was really small. We had about 20 or so kids inside of there, and we all worked together. It was really collaborative, and we did some science experiments as well based on the weather. So yeah, this is our geography department.
So as you exit the elevators off of the third floor of the North Classroom, you'll be greeted to the Health Professions Programs office. This is where you're going to get advising for their pre-health program. And a common misconception that students have when they're going into CU Denver is that pre-health or pre-med is a major, but it's actually a track you take where you take pre-health and pre-med requirements in order to apply for medical school. So this is the office you're going to really want to get familiar with if you're trying to go into pre-med pre-health track, because they'll be able to give you a reality check and also just be able to tell you what you need to be doing throughout your courses of years. And also with pre-med and pre-health, those are specific advisors. So there's going to be specific advisors for your major, there's going to be your academic advisor, and there's also just going to be your general academic advisor too. So there's going to be a bunch of different advisors here at CU Denver that can help you on your course here at CU Denver. And then also on this floor, there's a bunch of different health advisors down the hallway, such as your public health advisor and also your geography advisors.
Right now we're standing outside of our MERC lab, so that is our Mathematics Education Resource Center. Here you can go and get help with your math kind of homework or math questions that you have. Math is a difficult subject, even if you're not even a STEM major, or if you're a STEM major, it can get difficult. But here they go and help you out by hooking you up with the correct resources to solve your math problems and to do any of your math homework that you have. Right now they're holding sessions online, virtually, but once COVID is over and we go back to normal, which will be sometime in the near future, you'll be able to go in person again and meet with in-person people. It's really welcoming, really nice. No one judges you based on your math skills, which is really good. A lot of students get scared because they feel like they'll be judged for it. but you won't, and you'll just get to do your math homework here. It's really nice.
Also here on the 4th floor, we have our English department as well as a writing center. Now we have a bunch of different writing centers sporadically put around campus. So there's different locations such as on the campus village and everything like that. So there are places you can go to, not just in the North classroom. And what the writing center is meant for is they help you with any kind of writing that you need help with, such as your resume, like a personal statement or an essay. You just bring your paper to them and they'll help you make it as best as it can. And then also for the writing center, you can book an hour session with them 4 times a week. And this is included in your student fee, so it's no extra charge. And these people are here to help you just make your paper as best as it can. And their job is focused on English, so they are professionals with writing and everything like that.
So over here in this part of the North Classroom building on the 3rd floor is where our engineering department is. You'll go and find your it's kind of like your counselors, your academic advisors are on this floor as well. This is where their main headquarters are, basically within our school. On this pillar here, it says engineering, and it is where our engineering department is. Very cool place on campus. Right now we're sitting inside our Intermission Cafe within the science classroom building. They recently renovated this building to include this wing, and this cafe is a really nice part of the building. We have our butterfly in this building. It's a butterfly sculpture made out of all of these different test tubes with science stuff inside of it. Also at the cafe, you can buy coffee, you can buy drinks, you can buy tea, you can buy snacks, anything you want to keep you going throughout your classroom day. It's really nice. They have fresh food there too, and fresh bakery items as well. So if you're looking to stop by, maybe study, sit down and relax for a bit, come to this cafe and you'll be nice and set.
So we're currently on the 3rd floor of the science building, and each floor of the science building is designated for a different subject. So the 1st floor of the science building is where your gen classes are going to be. The 2nd floor is for more bio-specific classes, and your 3rd floor is going to be for more chemistry department classes. So right here we're in front of the Chem Lab. The 4th floor upstairs is where all the research labs are, and CU Denver is one of the top urban research universities in the nation. And students can find these internship and research opportunities through the school, and they can find it through Eureka, which is a research program run by the ELC here at CU Denver, which is the Experiential Learning Center. It's found down at the Tivoli. And you can also find these research opportunities through Handshake, which is basically a service CU Denver uses where they match up students for finding research based on their interests and everything like that. And then for labs are really strict on attire. So you can't go in without like lab coats and lab goggles because we're really worried about like safety. So CU Denver is always prioritizing safety for their students.
Right now we're standing outside our InWorks lab. This lab's really cool because it houses a lot of our 3D printing, our kind of design kind of stuff. We have some computers in there with the special programs to 3D print and build. Also housed within it is a glass cutter. This thing's very powerful. It cuts through glass. You need a certificate or license to use it on your own. If there are people within it that can use it, you can use it with them. Don't matter. But inside it's really cool, really technology kind of stuff. And at InWorks, they offer a really cool certificate for everyone. So no matter what your major is, if you're an English major, a science major, any major, you can get this certificate. It's called our Human Centered Design and Innovation Certificate. It's really cool. It kind of looks really good on your resume because it shows you can complete a certificate. I'm personally doing a GIS certificate with the geography department. That's Geographic Information Sciences. That's a really good certificate to get as well as a STEM major. But keeping it within InWorks, you can get that certificate to use all the different laboratory stuff within it, like the glass cutter and 3D printing.
And then right next to our INRIX lab, we have our College of Architecture and Planning. CU Denver offers one of the only undergraduate programs for architecture and planning. So if you're looking to go into architecture early on, CU Denver is definitely a great choice. And it's also right in the middle of downtown Denver. So what's a better place than to like look out into the city, see all the architecture and be inspired by it? So right here we have our Learning Resources Center, which is where you want to go if you feel like you're struggling in classes, because they'll be able to hook you up with a tutor, and the tutors are specified in their field. So they know what they're doing. They should be able to help you with your courses. Along with the LRC, we have TAs, LAs, and SIs. So learning assistants and teacher assistants are just like the people in the class that are helping your professor during class time. And then supplementary instructors are basically the second professor. And what they do is they reteach the course that everything you learned on that day. They'll teach it again the next day in their own way. So you'll get two formats and two professors essentially teaching the course, which will help you enhance your learning. Right here we have our TRIO office, and it's an office that helps first-generation low-income and or students that have a disability, and they help them by providing resources for them and also like research opportunities. Along with TRIO, we have our Center for Identity and Inclusion over there, so CU Denver has a lot of the offices and resources that can help students from all kinds of backgrounds.
Right now we're standing outside our area campus library. This library is shared between the 3 schools on campus, us, Metro State, and also CCD. But what's cool about this library is within it, we have this thing called the Innovations Garage. So at the Innovations Garage, you are able to use the programs on the computers to 3D print. You can go and print out posters, you can print out papers, colored papers, all kinds of cool stuff within it. So if you have a giant science project for your class, this is the place to go and print out your posters. Also within it, there's a cafe, so in case you're 3D printing and it's taking a while, go outside of the lab and go to the cafe, grab a drink, grab a snack, and just wait there and go and study and do your stuff. It's a very nice library. You can print inside it as well, and it's just very, very, very nice. Thank you so much for coming along with Donna and I on this STEM tour.
We hope you found this informative, and we hope to
See you in the city soon!